It should be done in next 1 second, 2 seconds. It is almost done.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, done. We can initiate the meeting.
Okay. Namrata, just check my messages.
Kijal bhai, should we start?
Yes, yes. Start.
Good, good evening, all. I welcome you all to this session of from Technology Initiatives Committee of Bombay Chartered Accountants Society on the topic of hidden gems of tele. I would like to invite Mr. C.A. Abhay Mehta, Vice President of Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, to give the opening remarks. C.A. Abhay bhai.
Thank you, Mrinal. Good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon, conveners of Technology Initiative Committee, Kinjal and Namrata, and Coordinator Mrinal. I welcome the speakers of the session, Punit Mehta and Abhay Gadia, and it is heartening that one of the speaker, Punit Mehta, is also part of the Technology Initiative Committee of the Bombay Chartered Accountants Society. This is the first program, seminar, organized in the financial year 2021 by Technology Initiatives Committee, and it is on a very relevant and apt topic of hidden gems of Tele ERP9 reports and add-ons. As we know that now, after this pandemic, I don't want to go into much of these pains which we have gone through since last 4 months, but it has given what you can say a very much great initiative to all of us to learn technology more in depth, so that we become really ready for the future in this under such circumstances. And this is a very relevant and apt topic that we are going to deal with today. And in this topic, in hidden gems of Tele ERP9, both the speakers who are very experienced on the Tele software will be taking us through various aspects of how to understanding the structure of the Tele ERP for MIS purposes, how to extract the data with the use of specialized tools, again using the data for analyzing and visualizing in Excel and Power BI, which is also a very useful tool for the management to know on a dashboard situation the workings of the financials and operational metrics of the organization for which the Tele and the Power BI are used. Before I hand over the session to the speakers, I would also like to give you a brief about the Bombay Chartered Accountants Society. Many of you may be members, others may be guests who have logged in this program. For their knowledge, I would just like to give you a brief introduction of what BCAS is all about. BCAS is in its 72nd year of existence, and it has more than 9,000 members all over the country. It is a principle-centered and learning-oriented organization promoting quality service and excellence in the profession of chartered accountancy. It also plays a catalytic role in evolving a better and more effective government policies and laws in order to have clean and efficient administration and governance. BCA's diverse activities include publishing BCA Journal monthly, which also has the distinction of being in its 5th decade of publication uninterrupted. It was pioneer in publishing BCA as a referencer, which has been modeled on similar lines by many other professional organizations. It imparts professional education through seminars, workshops, residential refresher courses, study circles, lecture meetings, distant learning programs on topics of professional interest to CA fraternity. It also has the vibrant website bcasonline.org, which I would request all of you to visit, which apart from giving the latest news, circulars and notifications relevant for professionals, also serves as a knowledge portal and is an excellent source of information. So BCS is not leaving behind the current trend also, and it has its social media presence through the social media handles on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, with followers in thousands, and it can be followed through BCS Global handles. With this brief introduction, I will now request I will request Mrinal to give a brief introduction of both the speakers and then take the session forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhay bhai. I thank you for giving me an opportunity to introduce both the speakers for the today. Our speaker, CA Puneet Mehta. He's a tele enthusiast and has a experience of sharing knowledge on software in India as well as abroad for last 18 years. He's a co-contributor for the book Tally for Professionals, published by the WRC of ICAI. He's also a co-opted member of the Digital Accounting and Assurance Board of ICAI, New Delhi. He has been a faculty and he has addressed various sessions for NASIN, various study circles and branches of WIRC, and he's been a regular speaker for BCA as well. He's also the committee member of the BCS Technology Initiatives Committee. Welcome, Puneet Bhai. I would like to introduce our second speaker, CA Abhay Gadia. He's a data analyst coach, a chartered accountant, and a certified fraud examiner. He's accomplished auditor and data analyst coach offering 16 plus years of experience of working with Big Four and MNCs. He has conducted classroom workshops and online courses and on analyzing and visualizing the data to extract business stories. On work experience front, he has worked with Bank of New York Mellon, Deloitte, Pricewaterhouse. He has also conducted various seminars for ICI branch Pune, PwC, Deloitte, and he's a speaker at unacademy.com. With this, I welcome both the speakers for today. Over to you, Puneet Bhai. Let's have a great session today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrinal Bhai. And first, let me thank Bombay Chartered Accountants Society for giving me an opportunity of sharing the knowledge on Tally ERP9. So it's the attitude and the people here which are really very different. And I always have a very great respect for Bombay Chartered Accountants Society right from my chartered accountancy passing days, and always aspire that when I could be a good speaker at BCAS and when it was there. And today I'm having a very wonderful audience. And I want to thank firstly the entire society and then the Technology Initiative Committee, especially comprising of Kinjal Bhai and Mrinal Bhai and other team, that taking up an initiative, taking up a topic which is not only useful for professionals. Friends, today we are not going to just talk about what is available in default tally. What I have been told that Puneet bhai, we want to save time, we want to see what are the other aspects of tally that are very relevant and useful for the people to use with. It is okay whether they are customization, it is okay what it is. But let us explore what are those options which are available so that users can save their time. With that objective, today's lecture is going to be slightly different from what I have been addressing at different forums. So it is going to be slightly technical. It is going to be slightly based on my knowledge of development that has come. Based on that, I would be sharing. But this is a wonderful initiative of BCAS. I must say that this is something really, really pioneering, that not only talk about the default subject platform which is available, but what are the options available within those platforms. So today we are going to discuss on some of those topics. With these words, I once again thank all the Technology Initiative Committee members, the President and the Abhay Mehta, everyone for giving me this opportunity. Let me just start with the presentation. Yeah, so let's start with what we all are going to learn about hidden gems of Tally ERP9. So when I was discussing with Mrinal that what are the things that we can work on, so there are a few things that has come out. So let me set the agenda for the day, that which are the topics that we are going to take. Understanding the overall structure of the software. How does it work? how the data is stored in the software, what are the various aspects which are available for the users to use the software. So there are quite a few things that I'm going to discuss that which would be definitely useful for the users to understand that if they want to use Tally effectively for their MIS, then they must understand that from where they are taking up the data. We would be looking at some unique add-on features which you might have seen somewhere else, which some of us might not have seen. But I thought, let me share some of those customizations of how these Tally ERP9 work. And these are only some samples that we can discuss over on this platform for about 1.5 hours. But beyond this, there could be many n number of features or TDLs that could be available within the software. After we look at the TDLs, we are going to look at using the uh, specialized tool for getting the data in the people are using it for, but using it along with Tally is something that we wanted to explore more. Then finally, we would be extracting the data and ensuring that the data which is available in Excel, how we can use it in Power BI as well. And for that, I would be requiring Abhay's help. And you have taken over a small case study for the users to understand that these data, if used in Power BI, how they can be wonderfully visualized. So that is the objective for the day, friends. Let's move on. What are the important components of any data? So some would say, okay, we want to create the different balance sheet items, profit and loss accounts. So all those are definitely different components of the data. But when we talk of MIS, now MIS is including your KPIs to be set, including your workings to be worked. So what are those important aspects of data? So, and what is the final outcome? This is what it is. We understand that we would be first looking at the masters. Now, what are the different kind of masters? This will be slightly theoretical, but yes, it would be interesting for the users to understand as well. So masters, then transaction. So what different transactions are we looking at? And then finally, some of the MISs that are wonderfully made in Tally ERP9 and outside Tally ERP9. One important aspect of masters are these: stock group, stock category. Now, some of us might know what is stock category, might not know what is stock category. Stock category is nothing but different grouping of the stock items. Okay, so that helps in analyzing the same stock item in a different way, or to categorize it or group it in a different way. So it is wonderful that people should understand that any item can be clubbed together as a stock group, or it can also be parallelly clubbed together as a stock category. Then along with these, the other important aspect for MIS purposes is to understand that what are different unit of measures. Now, we may have the numbers, pieces, kgs, and so on and so forth. The right unit of measures helps us in designing the fantastic MIS, because that is very much necessary. You are going to add up the totals of the items which are sold, which are purchased. So understanding that unit of measures has to be common across the different items, as well as within the same company or within the different companies in the same group. So unit of measures also play an important role. So so on and so forth. For batch details for each individual items, we should also ensure that if in case the industry requires the batch name, we create those batch names, and with those batch names, fantastic MIS can be done. At later point of time, we will see what are the things that we have done. As like account stock group, we should understand that the chart of accounts is our primary MIS. Many times we start our writing books of accounts just by creating ledgers. Now Tally comes with certain default accounting groups that is available once you start the company. Those have been designed to stay at either profit and loss account or at balance sheet level. Okay, it is not that you cannot create your own group, but you need to define whether those are at profit and loss account or balance sheet income or liability asset and all those things. You can create your own accounting group as well. Okay, under the accounting group, Tally comes with only two default ledgers. Whenever you start a company, that is cash and profit and loss account, rest all the ledgers one need to create, whether it is purchase, sales, and all those things. So once you are going to create, might as well create it in a way which is going to help you in getting the final MIS. So that is where that option to know that yes, these ledgers will enable me to get the perfect MIS is which is required. That understanding is required. You can create group, subgroup, and within subgroup, multiple other different subgroups. So, and each ledger master has got about 300 different properties. So with these 300 properties, you can ensure a lot of your MIS to be stored. We will see some of them. Apart from accounting groups and ledgers, these are other important aspects, cost category and cost center. So many times when we are working in an environment where there are multiple divisions, where there are multiple cities, or where there are salesmen who are working, people tend to create the cost centers. If there are if for an organization, if there are three factories, they can create cost center each factory wise or each division wise, line of business wise. So an understanding of cost category and cost center gives us a real insight of the data that yes, if I am going to store each along with the each transaction, the cost category detail and the cost center detail that will help me in generating the MIS. Okay. Before we move on to transactions, let us now look at, okay, first we will complete this small PPT of transactions. So for MIS, these are the accounting vouchers, pure accounting vouchers. One may say payment receipts and contra, which I have not mentioned. You can also look at purchase sale transactions, debit note, credit notes, journals also come within this, or pure inventory vouchers, that is delivery note and receipt note. Now, these all are going to impact your books of accounts. The first two are going to impact your books of accounts. The balance, the delivery note, receipt note, purchase order, sales order, those are not going to impact your books of accounts directly. Those are going to give you wonderful MISs or wonderful information for tracking your orders, for tracking your details, what goods you have sold, what goods you have balance to be sold, and those all details can come from these four inventory vouchers details, that is delivery note, receipt note, and the orders, purchase order and sales order. Friends, there are two more such vouchers not to impact your books of, okay, memorandum vouchers and reversing journals. These can also help you in creating a scenario of different aspects. So this is an important aspect, that memorandum vouchers are not going to impact your books of accounts, but if the time permits, we will see how those entries are also passed. And reversing journal, again, useful for finalization of accounts when we are entering our provisional accounts, or when we are entering our quarterly or annual accounts, which are finalization account, to post only the provisional entries. So these reversing journals can be of helpful, but these are all non-books of accounts entries, by meaning thereby that they are not going to impact my books directly, but definitely they can be available in the reports, which we are going to see in few moments. Okay. So let us now go to Tally and understand what the different things are. Okay.
Puneet bhai,
Yeah.
your voice is breaking in middle a little. So if you can just be a little closer to the mic.
Yeah. One
Thank
second.
you. Thank you so much.
Right. Okay. So friends, we will now see how we can use Tally's functionality of getting our chart of accounts right. Okay. So this is a demo company that I have created. Now there are two ledgers which are available in this, which I want to get copied in a different company. I will just show you the chart of accounts. Okay. Now these are, if you see, sundry debtors and multiple groups and subgroups under the sundry debtors. Okay. This is what we want it in a different company. Now, once you look at your standard chart of accounts, maybe for a proprietorship company or LLP or your ROC, you might have created certain chart of accounts as a standard ones. And you would like that all my clients or most of my clients should use a similar kind of chart of accounts so that it becomes easier for you to finalize the transactions. Okay. So for that, there are two options which are available. First, I will show you a default version option, and then I will take you to the customization which is possible and which is very useful for the users. I have just created one company called demo new company. Now in this, there are no ledgers or groups, only cash and profit and loss account. This company, this I have come on display list of accounts, and basis this, you will be able, see, so this demo new company is a completely blank company. Okay. Now I'm clicking on F3. I'm going to this company, demo trading company. Here, once I see demo trading company, there are multiple groups which are created under sundry debtors. So there are 4 groups which are created under sundry debtors. I want all the 4 groups to be there in the demo company, demo new company. I will click on button called F3, which is there on the right hand side. 2 prerequisites that both the company should be open. Okay. By clicking here on F3, I will select the company, demo new company, and click on Control A. That is my shortcut key. Let us see. SD. See, 3 debtors have been created. List of groups have been created. Okay. So you will say, what is so fun in it? Those 3 groups, I might have created it one by one. It would have taken 5 minutes. Yes, it would have taken just your 5 minutes. But if you see the other part, F3, I go to multiple ledger from demo trading company and select under sundry debtors. How many ledgers are there? 15 ledgers are there, and all of them are under different groups. Okay, and mind you, all of these ledgers will have their own contact details, that is your phone number and email addresses and the person's name. Not only that, it will have PAN number, GST number as well. Okay, here once I click F3, demo new company, and then click on Control A. That's it. F3, demo new company. I'll see whether those ledgers are created. Yes. Now in this demo new company, all the ledgers are created, right? If you see, there were no ledgers 2 minutes back. Now there are 15 ledgers. Okay, with all these details or whatever that details are in terms of contact details and all these things. So this is how you can create the users. Ensure that by clicking F3, you can just copy and paste the masters. Okay. Now this is very useful when there are 1 or 2 or 3 companies and when a blank company is being started. But many times what happens is that person has to enter data in a company which is already running. Okay, and every day a new vendor is coming in, a new customer is coming in. To explain it to the user, doing F3 might be little typical. So for that, what we have done is that we have created one small customization. I will take you to the customization product features. And I will, for the purpose of understanding, I will open 3-4 more companies. Okay. And I have now activated one small customization, which is, let us see what it does. I will not say anything. Accounts info, F3. Suppose in this demo new company, I want to create one ledger called Nal Mehta. Okay, which is under sundry debtors. And I want to add certain details. See, now there are 3 companies which were open, and in all the 3 companies, that is in demo new company, I had created Mrinal Mehta, and let me check whether in manufacturing there is a ledger called Mrinal. Yes, it is there, and with the same PAN number which I had mentioned. Whether it is there in demo trading company, yes, it is there, and with the same this thing. So this customization can help you in ensuring that whatever new running masters which are coming, if created in one company, gets copied to all the companies without the use of button called F3. Of course, I have shared with you F3 button, how it can be used, but that you have to select each company every time. Okay, one by one, you have to select. But once you use the customization, this can be a value add to the users who are always creating. Now, where it can be used? Many times, as I said, you have different branches. So for chart of accounts, okay, for chart of accounts, you need to ensure that anytime if any new expense which has come, it should have same nomenclature in all the 12 or 15 companies that I may have in of different divisions or my different other things. So this can be of real help to you. Okay, so copying of masters from one company to multiple companies with the use of customization and with the use of default tally. Here, I may also add that the users can use one small default functionality of tally, which is known as XML, display list of accounts. What they may also do, uh, that they can use this button called export and click on XML data interchange. By doing this, they can generate one particular file. Okay, you can select what kind of masters you would like to export, whether you want to export all accounting masters, all inventory masters, or all masters for that matter. And that you can create one small file, XML, whatever the name you might give, and go in a new company and then import it. That is also an option which is available. But here the challenge is that all the masters would get copied, whichever you have created in the first company. You cannot have a selective master selection and then copy it to the another company. So this is another option which is although available but not used mostly, as you can copy all the masters. Okay. So we have understood the structure of the master. Okay, we created one master and copied it in multiple companies. Okay, this is how one small customization can be of real help to you. Now, what are the other customizations which are possible? Let us understand one transaction posted in another company as a same transaction. So we will see at that example as well. One rule to create multiple transactions. Okay, so you have set a rule in Tally, and then with that rule you create multiple transactions by doing on a similar line, by doing that one selection, that space bar, and create the multiple transaction and certain process based working. Okay, so process based working is also possible as to how we can operate it in Tally. Okay, process based transactions. Let us look at one by one all of the following. Master creation, create in one company, apply in multiple companies. As I have already discussed, that all the details and all these things will get copied. Okay. Other options of F3 XML with customization, and yes, there is one more option available of importing it from Excel as well. So if time permits, at the end, I will show it to you that how we can import it from Excel directly in Tally ERP 9. And but that again is through customization. One rule, create multiple transactions. Okay. Now, for that, what is a prerequisite and why it is required is that if you have standardized business requirements, okay, and accountants' workload can be moved from creation to checking. Now, what those standardized business requirements could be? Those business requirements could be creating. Now, these are all small business requirements. I'm not saying that these are all, but just to give an example, because it is difficult to remember any customization without an example or any, for that matter, any aspects. So what we can do is that we can create 500 invoices or 300 invoices for a society. Now, what are the standardized business requirements? those business requirements are related to maybe having a standardized flat, and only the flat square feet changes. And then from there on, directly the invoices can be created if we have a set rule. Okay. Demand notes for a builder. If you see that a builder, once he builds the building, he has got multiple flats, and multiple flats have got, although they are of different square feet, but what is important that the moment your slab is complete, you need to raise the demand note. And many times those users who are not using high-end ERP, they do this working in Excel, which if defined it properly can be worked out in Tally as well. Okay, so let us see a one example of within Tally itself how we can work it out for a society. I will take you to that example. I am activating a customization. So first, let us understand the rule-based working. I will show you what are the rules which are set in the master. Okay. Now this is a ledger. We have set certain parameters. Okay. Floor, shop, area, square feet, which date. Okay. Maintenance charges, whether we want to actual per month. Okay. Or whether we want it based on per square feet per month. And so on and so forth. Okay, I have not entered other details. Those can also come from my building masters. Okay, which I have provided in the at the group level. Here also I have provided certain details. It can either come from there, okay, or it can come from individual ledgers. Once this rule is set, what will happen? You can go to this module and say select member billing. Okay, now these are all the ledgers. I can select one, I can select all, okay, and I say billing. So here I give the date 1/12. Whether I want to post an interest entry, yes. So I am entering one transaction on 1st December. Okay. Transactions, which is required. My challenge is that whether I have this being demo. Yes. So 4 transactions have been created. The reason is that I might not have entered the masters, but this is how you can create the details. Okay. So you select the party, and that is how with the interest working, it can create it. Okay. So the idea is that with one single rule-based working, you can create multiple transactions. Okay. So one rule, create multiple transactions. One selection can create multiple transactions. So we can have complex debit credit entries which are rule based on certain aspects, and then automatically those are reversed or those are posted at this thing. What this will do is that this will enable the users to have more time to check the data rather than to post the transaction. What could be the different examples for this? The different examples could be that from sales order entries, okay, if you have to create different kind of manufacturing journals or multiple bank entries at one click, okay, let me take you through the one example of one selection and posting multiple transactions at one go. Before I show this particular aspect, I would first would like to wish you or to train you on the aspects of auto bank reconciliations of Tally. Okay, many users are not using the auto bank reconciliation functionality of Tally. Let me show you what is that available and how it can be useful for the users.
Puneet bhai, the voice is still not that very clear. It is breaking in
Let
middle.
me, Mrinal bhai, if you allow me a minute, I will change my network, this thing also. Okay?
Yeah, or maybe you can use the earphones, something.
Earphones won't be possible, but I will change my network.
Okay.
Let me see if that difference comes.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Is my screen visible of Explorer? Mrinal bhai?
The tally screen is visible right now.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes, the Explorer screen is visible now.
Yeah. So, friends, this is the bank statement which is now available downloaded directly from the bank. Okay. And how is the voice? Is it audible right now, Mrinal?
Yeah, it is audible.
Okay. Right. So you can see that this is a default bank statement which is downloaded from the internet or directly downloaded from the bank. Okay. The one which is there. Now I will go into Tally. Yeah. So in Tally, I go to my accounts info, ledger, alter HDFC Bank. Suppose I have created this ledger. Okay. And here what I want to do is that I have to select this list of bank very clearly. Okay. That what bank I am going to work on. And then in this set alter auto bank reconciliation module, I need to set out the path where my bank statement is. Okay. So this is one path that I have saved it. Normally, when you receive the bank statement, what happens is that you get it in printout format and then you start working on it. You can go to banking, you can go to bank reconciliation and select HDFC Bank. And here you can select the bank statements. First, I will select the PDF. Okay, I can provide the path from here because I have set it in master. It is saying that. It is reading the bank statement file. So there are 205 entries in the bank statement and additional entries are 165, meaning that out of these 205, 40 entries have already been posted in Tally. Fine. So this shows that these amounts are not reflected in books of accounts. Okay. These details are not available in the books of accounts. What we can do is that we can create entries from here itself and say create voucher. Okay. And select whatever ledger name we want to address. The amount has come automatically. Control A. This is a fantastic tool. Again, create voucher. Select the ledger, amount has come automatically. And if you go enter and see, the check number also has come automatically and the instrument date and the narration all have come automatically and those have been entered. So this is a wonderful tool that Tally has already provided to users for last 5 years or more maybe. Not many are using it. But we are going to see what automation can be possible within this also. I will activate one small customization. Now I come back to Tally, entries. I go to the module, which is similar to my bank reconciliation module. I had created 2 entries, so now the difference should be of 42 entries. Yes, additional bank entries are 163 and total bank entries in the bank statement. Now, this working which I'm selecting for each transaction can be automated out here. Let's see how. Suppose I want to post all the monthly interest together. I click on spacebar, 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 monthly interest entries. So there is a line count which is coming 8 transactions. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Suppose I want to post these 15 transactions together. There is, with the help of this customization, we have clicked on one particular voucher, payment, receipt, which bank interest, which ledger you want to post. So you are informing Tally that I want to post all the entries which are selected with bank entries to the bank interest ledger. Yes, done. So all the 15 entries have been posted. Okay, if you see, the numbers have gone down drastically, and let us go and check with the bank interest display account books ledger bank interest. Yes, all these entries which I posted it together is here. Okay, so this is a great benefit the users can have with the customization. The challenge today is right utilization of time. We all have got 86,400 seconds in our hands in the entire day. How we use those seconds, how we use our minutes define what we are. So with the use of some automation, what you can ensure that your time is saved on rather than entering transaction, which is anyways going to get reduced day by day with more automation coming. You invest your time in analyzing and checking the transaction. So we saw multiple bank entries at one click. One transaction posted in another company. Now, this is again a rule which may be because of statutory requirement. Today, this particular lecture is arranged by a forum of Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, and I assume that most of the users would be chartered accountants. One requirement which comes is that how we can maintain two separate sets of books of accounts, like mercantile accounts and cash accounts. Now, whether now there are various possibilities, and one of the possibility is that you have two different books of accounts, one for mercantile accounting, another for cash accounting. Okay, cash basis of accounting. The mercantile accounting will show all your debtors, all your GST requirements, and so on and so forth. The transactions which are relevant from mercantile entries can be posted to the cash entries, cash books of accounts, which is one example for suppose which is one example for like receipt. So the moment you have a set of receipt coming in from receipt in mercantile company, you can automatically get it copied to the cash basis of company. Okay, so this is also useful when we have a purchase and a sale transaction. So where the two different companies might have two different accountants and they want to enter the transactional information. So here different examples I have already discussed: receipt from mercantile company to receipt in cash company, from one company to another company, payment of one company to receipt of another company, on a similar lines, sales of one company to purchase of another company. So that is also possible. I will not take you to that. And if the time permits and if there is a requirement at the end, we can take one example of that as well. Now, this one is my favorite. Why? Because here we are not talking of one transaction, we are talking of a process. The accountants are many times changing. Okay, the data entry person keeps on changing, and the new accountant who comes may not have got rigorously trained as what is required, and because of that the process fails. Why? You might have created best of manuals for your client, but those are not followed because the new accountant had not understood what is required, and basis that the entire process has got failed. Now, what could be that example as well? Now, there could be different entries. Now, one example which Mrinal is also using for long is this share market, that the people entering data in tally for shares can also enter the gain or loss entry right at the time of the sales itself, rather than waiting for the year end. Okay, so that is one example. The other example could be of a vehicle sales module. Okay, vehicle sales, that is raising of multiple debit notes. Suppose you are an automobile dealer, and each automobile dealer, along with one invoice of sales to one customer, has to raise multiple debit notes. Okay, those debit notes could be for RTO, could be for insurance, could be for finance charges, and so on and so forth. So if the process is set that the moment your sale entry is created, at that time, these are the 5 or 6 debit notes should be created together. Okay. Now, if that process is set, that can help users to complete the accounting right at the time of sales itself. So all the debit notes or all those entries are posted together. I have kept those example also ready, but I am looking at the watch also. It might take few more minutes for configuring it and coming back. So we will take this example also at the end. Not a problem, but the idea is that users should understand that multiple debit notes could be created from one sales transaction. That is the process based working. Sometime back, there was a CNF agent. So the moment they pass one receipt, based on that, they have to create few commission entries, few workings, few journal transfer entries. Now all those rules were set. We can set it up within the system of Tally through some customization and ensure that the entire process is uh, configured within the Tally, and the moment one entry is posted, all the other entries are also posted. Here, I would also like to draw users' attention on a software called Zapier, which enables users to automate certain entries. You can go on Zapier site and use that particular thing, but there also the rules needs to be set. So Zapier is one more software which can automate within Tally also. Okay. Minal, if there are questions, if you could just let me know whether those questions are related to the discussions that we are having, or we
Yes,
are
Punit
taking
bhai. There
it.
are few which can be taken up now if we have 2
Yeah,
minutes.
please.
Yeah. One which just recently relates to the bank reconciliation.
Yeah.
It says that for bank reconciliation, majority of transaction is NEFT and not having check number. So how this transaction will be reconciled?
So what it can be done, Tally's bank reconciliation works on two working. One is the amount, date, and the second is the same amount and date along with the check number. Okay. It gives you, there is an option of linking and unlinking. So if you give an option that show common aspect, and those because NEFT details are not mentioned in the transaction. So it will just compare both of them together, and you can click on spacebar and then say yes, these are reconciled. So a lot of users are using it, and that option is available in Tally. But for that, users will have to use some amount of judgment that yes, this NEFT, because many times the same amount of NEFT can come from two different sources. So which you are going to reconcile, that you need to decide. But having said that, that option is available for auto bank reconciliation as well. So
Okay.
they, based on amount and the date, it will show us in one particular list.
Okay.
That option is available in Tally. Yeah.
Thank you, Punit bhai. One more question regarding the import of ledgers. So
Yeah.
one question is, can all ledgers or groups be directly imported instead of one by one alteration creation done by creditors debtors separately? So
So
all the
I,
yeah.
yeah, sorry. So I have already explained it. Maybe the user might have missed it. Is that if we have to do it all together, we have two options. One is using F3 and copying it, copy and pasting it. First, we need to do it for groups, and then we can do it for ledgers also. So we created 15 ledgers at one go.
Okay.
And yeah, and the other option was, if you do not want to use this thing, you can also definitely go and export it in XML. And from XML, it can create an XML file and then go in a different new company and import all of the ledgers together. So that is also an option which is available. One more option which is available via customization is importing it via Excel. Okay, so that we can take it up maybe at a later point, slightly later, once we are through with our reporting part. And let us see Abhay wants how many time, how much time. So basis that we can take it up at later point of time as well. But this is an interesting thing where users can create not only masters but update it, those missing fields like the phone number, the email address, the contact name. Many times those are missing, and since those are not complete, your KYCs and other things goes for a toss. So yes, those can be updated from Excel. We will see those examples at a slightly later point of time.
In case of import of debtors, all the subgroups are also imported along with the group
Yes.
of debtors.
Yes. So what I did, if some of the users might have noticed, in a blank company, I first copied the subgroups. Sundry debtors was already there. That is a default group which is available from Tally. But under sundry debtors, there are 4 more groups. So I first copied all the groups by clicking on multiple group alteration. And once I copied the group, then I went into multiple ledger alteration, and then I copied the ledger also. Here, I would also like to draw one attention that there is one button called zero opening balances. Many times when you are copying from one company to another, you don't want the balances to go as well. While you want the ledger masters to go, you do not want the balances to go. So after clicking on F3, you can click on button called zero opening balance, which is on the right hand side panel, and it will zero all the opening balances for the new company. And
Okay.
then you can click on Control A.
Okay. Last question for this time. Maybe we can take the other questions at a later point. Whether the bank statement needs to be in specific format for being imported for the bank reconciliation.
This is a default function feature of Tally. Tally has configured with most of the nationalized bank, most of the banks which are there in India. Now it includes Kotak, ICICI, and all the nationalized Bank of India, and Tally has studied their format, and basis their format, it has enabled it within the system. If you recall, the first thing that I did for bank reconciliation was, while going to accounts info ledger, I had selected that what the ledger name was, that which bank does it belong. The moment I say that this ledger account belongs to this bank, Tally automatically downloads its formats from the backend. The user need not do anything. So what I mean to say is that if the users are having from HDFC, Bank of Baroda, State Bank of India, or any of these nationalized or Indian banks, this download feature of Excel is available within their banking portal, and Tally reads it directly. You don't need to change a single column. The challenge rise when the certain international bank do not provide Excel, do not provide the download utility in directly Excel. So those cannot be read. You cannot convert a PDF and then try to read it in Tally. It is going to be a nightmare. Tally is not going to read it directly. For that, you might have to go in for some customization, but generally it is not advised to read those international banks format. Now, by meaning that, I have seen Citibank, it does not get reads, and maybe Stanchart also. So these are the two banks I am aware that those are giving some different format, which is not there in the normal this thing. And we have challenge of reconciling that. But apart from that, most of the banks allow a download. You need not change the format.
Thank you, Puneet bhai. And wherever you mention customization, participants are interested in where to get those customizations or the TDLs from.
Okay. So for that, I will share certain details. I will let you know from where to
Yes, sir.
get, what are the procedures for getting it. So
Yes, sir.
that we can discuss it at later point of time.
Sure, sir. So you may continue, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. So now we come to the third part of our discussion is of reporting. Okay, the reporting is of extraction for business analysis and extraction data visualization enablement tool. Now these are the two tools that we are going to talk for, and let us see of how working in possible. Okay, there is one more tool which is there in Tally is of auto emailing on click of reportings. Okay, so you may create some reports and basis that Tally can just email it on a specific date and time. So that is also possible within the realms of Tally. That is also possible of auto email. Okay, let us now go to certain aspects of Tally which is available in default Tally, and then we will see the extraction for business analysis. Mrinal, can I, are you looking at my Tally screen?
Yes, sir. Your telescreen is visible.
Okay. Friends, auto emailing of functionality is available within Tally also, but it is slightly complex. I will show you some functionality. Multi-account printing, account books, ledgers, group of accounts, sundry debtors, and here you can click on email. Okay, so here if you have configured your email addresses properly in masters, then the statement of accounts, that is your confirmation of accounts as well as ledgers, can go to all the debtors and the creditors whichever you have selected at one go. I will show you how we can get it in, how you can learn this feature. Got to go to help.telesolutions.com, and here in this you just type mass mailing. So the moment you type mass mailing, you get this option. You can send multiple reports as email to the multiple email IDs. Tally has provided this feature for the users. What are the things that you can send it? Mass mailing, outstanding statement, reminder letters, confirmation, and you have, if you have activated payroll, the payslip as well. So this is a wonderful feature. As I showed you, gateway of Tally, multi-account printing, outstanding ledger, and then group of ledgers. Okay, from here you can go and here you can configure the Gmail account or your mail account and then send it. Okay, this is a fantastic tool available which you should use it every month end, because you are sending the reminder letters that for this month this is the transaction which has happened or confirmation of accounts. Okay, you can use it, and this is available in default Tally. This is a small automation that you can adopt it for your own companies as well as for your clients as well. Definitely you can charge hundreds and thousands of rupees for your clients if you are configuring it properly. I will request all the users to go and explore this particular function. Since I have come here, I will also show you certain important features which I really love about Tally, which is there from data structures perspective. So I am here in help.tallysolutions.com. If I want to know SQL query in SQL query, okay, examples of SQL query. So what does this do? select name from ODBC, select dollar name, or select star from ledger. Now these all are different examples of SQL queries. I will show you since we are on structure of Tally today. Control N, Control N, select star from ledger. It is not ledgers, S is not there. Select star from ledger. There are about 10 to 12 titles which are there, and on the right hand side there are 346 more fields which are there. So all these are your field masters in Tally. Okay, fields of master in Tally, ledger master in Tally. And if you go the parent name, dollar parent name, dollar group name, on the right hand side I am going there, and you will find that you will also get the ledger name, dollar ledger name. I'm going on the right hand side. You can export this entire data, okay, in Excel and then study it completely, right? So it is not that this data cannot be exported, easily exportable in Excel, and then study what are the different aspects which are raised as master. One second. So altered ID is there, sort position is there. So on and so forth. So entire aspect of name, mailing name, all these details are available within the system. Your closing balance. What is the closing balance? Address, primary group, okay, and the name of the ledger. Okay, name of the ledger has already gone behind. Okay, so these are the details that you can get it from the system. You can also get in what is the cash inflow for that particular ledger has come in this period. Cash outflow. By cash inflow is something which has come from the details of your bank. Okay, if there is a receipt, it will come out here total in totality. Dollar cash inflow, dollar cash outflow. I would request all the users to go to helptallysolutions.com and type this SQL queries in Tally and then see what are the aspects that they can export it in Excel as well. It would be really interesting for all of them to learn about this. So there are multiple SQL statements that you can post it. Here, I will just also add one small trivia is that Tally also gives you, suppose you want to know what is your cash balance. You just type cash. Closing balance of cash ledger is 2212. Okay, so this is small trivia, nothing much. But if you see, the SQL statement is really interesting and you can download it. Right now, only the masters are available in terms of default working of Tally. Okay, only the information which is there in the masters is available. Yes, it is available for my stock items as well as for ledgers. Okay. Now, let me share with you two interesting tools, and then probably we will take it up with Abhay sir that how these tools can be made more effective while we go on to Excel. Uh, Mridul, can you see my tally screen?
Your Explorer screen is on right
Okay.
now.
Friends, this is the tally company which I have loaded. Okay. With this, what I am going to do is that I am now going to open my one simple enablement tool. Okay. So here, this is an Excel sheet data visualization enablement tool. Okay. What it will do? Let's see. Okay, we just give the period and we say get data. With this, once we click on this button called get data, it is connecting with my tallies database. Okay, this is ODBs through ODBC. What we found is that a lot of people are having challenges in extracting the tally data, but once they are able to extract the tally data, they are able to create some wonderful MIS. Why? What kind of MIS? KPIs, all different types of sales KPIs and those things can be created. Now it is getting connected, and yes, the data is updated in 7 seconds. Of course, it took 10 seconds more. But if you see the two companies which I had loaded, demo company trading and manufacturing, all the sales data, voucher type sales, party name, party address, and all these details are available here in terms of the pivot format. Okay, this is a simple tool to get the data in pivot format along with the purchase and sale narration and everything. Okay, once this comes to you, you can definitely go here, insert pivot table and select the table and create your own visualization. I am not an expert in data visualization as of now, but yes, I wish to learn that as well more. But what I can definitely say is that this tool can give you at least 45 to 50 different types of reports. Some of them we are going to discuss on in some time as well. Uh, Abhay is going to discuss some of them. Okay. Similar to this, similar to this, there is one more enablement tool that we have developed. Here, the details are not only from sales, but they are details coming in from the different voucher types as well. Okay, so here, this is going to be my background for working on Power BI. What Abhay is going to train all of us, that once you get the data and in a structured format, what wonders you can do, how you can play with that data and ensure that you can get some fantastic MIS. Okay, so this is what it is. It says contra receipt purchase sale. It has got particulars, Kotak Bank debit credit entries, and only this much columns. They are not much. Okay, so with only this 12 to 15 columns, and this consists my entire day book, purchase sales, and the end of the day book is also there. The journals are also there. Okay, with this data, let us learn from Abhay bhai what how we can use it for our benefit. I'm going to close it as of now.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Puneet bhai. So thanks a lot for this opportunity. So I will quickly start sharing my screen. Give me a second.
Yeah, please.
So I hope everyone is able to see my screen.
Uh, yes, I am able to see
Yes,
Mrinal bhai.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay, great. So this is the same data set like which Puneet bhai just showed us and which is exporting all the data from Tally into an Excel. So this is an entire day book or like for this particular period. So whatever transaction has happened within the start date and end date, whether it might be related to sales, purchase, or any other stuff, everything is getting recorded like bank receipts, bank payments, everything is here like debit notes, credit notes. So all of this data set has been exported by writing this macro. So let us quickly have a look at the columns which we are getting. So here we have a company name, voucher date, voucher numbers, so particular, so ledger name wise details are there. So if there are any ledger groups, party state, GSTN number, quantity, rates, unit, discount and amount, debit and credits, and rest of other columns are also there which has been exported. So some of them might be relevant, some of them may not be relevant for us. Now, yes, so definitely we can create a PO tables, we can perform our analysis through different angles, then we may create our charts also. But like doing all that interactive stuff in an Excel is very cumbersome. It takes a lot of time. So something which we can create using Power BI. So this is a kind of a tool which has been provided by Microsoft. Currently, it is free of cost. You can just go to Google, type Power BI, download, you can install it and start using it. So there is no time limit, there is no feature limit. You can start using it. So all of this visualization you can quickly create using this Power BI. Most of this visualization, you would see that all of the formulas which we may have to create in an Excel, we can use with a simple mouse click and create this visualization. I don't need to write any formulas manually to create this interactive visualization. So at the top here, you can see I can get immediately the total sales amount, how many vouchers are there. So normally like in an Excel, when you extract it, one sales invoice may have a multiple line items. So if you simply count the number of line items, it will be incorrect. So if I want to count unique sales invoices, it won't be possible directly using pivot tables. It will count multiple times. So in Power BI, you can do a unique invoice count, and then unique, after counting that unique, you can count like how much is the average per invoice. So even similarly for purchase and sales. So this is very simple dashboard which we have created, but based on requirement, based on type of analysis which you want, you can do wonders with this Power BI tool. So this is also kind of an interactive tool. So currently here you can see we have month-wise analysis for sales and purchase. So if I simply click on this May month, immediately you can see all my visuals have been changed. Even the top visuals, bottom product level details or product group level details are also changed. So now with control click, if I simply select one more product over here, immediately you can see my sales purchase entire visuals have been changed. So with a simple mouse click, I can do an interaction. So it can be a party wise, it can be a like product wise, it can be like multiple regions wise, all kind of interactivity you can build in. You can have a drill down approach also. So currently you can see this is at the group level, and then in within that we have a product level. So if I don't want that level, I can simply click on this upward arrow, it will get grouped. Here also I can do that way. If I want to drill down, I can have a double click on this. If I directly want like next a product level, I can do that. A product level information will be displayed. So if I want a group wise and product level, everything is available here in Power BI. So we'll quickly see how we can create this kind of a visualization starting from the scratch within like next 30 minutes. So let me just quickly open a new Power BI desktop. So I'm just simply clicking Control N, just opening a new version, just like you open a blank Excel file. I'm opening a new Power BI desktop file. So in the meantime, it opens up. So whatever changes, if something happens up over here, so let us see if there are additional rows. If I change the period, I don't have to redo it again. I have to simply go and click this refresh button. Entire visual will get automatically updated. So it's just like in pivot tables, you change your source data, everything will change. So this first window will open up. So just click close. Don't need to do it. I can go to get data. So currently we have extracted in Excel, but if you want to link it to directly to Tally, you can do that using this O data feed also. So as of now, I'm simply going to this Excel. I will select this particular file where I've extracted it, click open. Now you can see I'm not using any keyboards. I'm simply using mouse click. So this is the table where the data set are there. So these are additional sheets where there can be additional data which you want to pull in. You can select all of them, but as of now, only relevant data is over here. I'm selecting that, and let us click on transform data. So once I click on transform data, here it comes the query editor. So where you can, this refresh, let it be. Here you can perform additional data cleaning activities also. So if you, let's say if you want to add month level information. So currently I have only the voucher date. So I want a month also, month, year also, whatever cleaning activities. If you want to do a text to columns, if you want to separate address in multiple fields, everything you can do it in Power Query Editor. So at the top here, you can see this is a query editor and this is a Power BI desktop. So whatever changes you make, it will be saved in this desktop file only. So this will be only inside a memory. So for the time being, we will just quickly select this voucher date column, go to add column, go to add column, and then I will simply select month and will click name of the month. So immediately you can see additional step has been added and one more column will be added at the end. So here you can quickly see the name of that particular month has been added. So again, there is no formula currently in Excel which will immediately give you the name of the month. So you will have to write VLOOKUP, extract the month formula, which will be a numeric. You will have to do that. Here I'm not doing any writing of the formula. Everything is like using simply a mouse click. Now I will go and add year also. If I want to extract year, I will simply go and say year extraction. So the year column has been extracted. I want first 3 digits. So I can do that as well. I will go to transform tab, extract first 3 character, which is like a left function in your Excel. Here only I'm using keyboard. I'm just typing 3 and immediately you can see only the 3 letters has been extracted. Now, if I want to combine these 2 columns, I can select both of these columns with control key pressed. Simply click on merge columns. Let us give a name, month, year, And let us have a separator. Let's say this will be a separator dash mark, and let us click OK. So here you can see month and year column we have extracted. So everything using our ribbon interface only. Nothing you have to write any formulas. So that's what we have done. Now let us go. We will add one more stuff which will be useful for our sorting purpose. I will select this voucher date. I can simply go to a date column under add column tab, date and start of the month. So there can be like 2nd April, there can be a 4th April, whatever it may be. But I always want a start of the month. So I can simply go to month, start of the month. So here you can see whatever may be the date, it will give you the start of the month. You can have end of the month, quarter of like start of the quarter. Everything can be using a simple click of a button. You can get it. So those details I'm getting it up over here. So this is fine with me as of now. Now let me load this data back to my Power BI desktop. So I will simply go to Home tab and click Close and Load. Again, using mouse click only I'm doing it. Now this is loading the data back to my Power BI desktop. On the right hand side, here you can see everything has been loaded. So currently it is just showing me the field names in that particular data set. Now on the left hand side, if I click on this table view, here I can see the data set which has been loaded. So it's just like an Excel sheet. You can have a filtering options, everything up over here the way you want, but you can't edit it. So that way the data integrity is there. So just like in Excel, you can do a control D and automatically data get copy pasted from the previous row. So that won't happen up here. I can't do a F2. There won't be any changes here. So that data integrity will be there. And again, if you want to see what changes you have done, like starting from the source, it will be visible in your transform power query. So whatever changes you have made from the source, there is an audit trail over here. So whatever changes, if let us say if your subordinate is working on, you can see and check the whatever steps. If something has missed out, you can add, you can edit whatever you want, you can do it over here. So as of now, you can see this data has been loaded. Now let us quickly see how we can create a visuals. So the visual you can create simply clicking on this button. I will click on this, not this visual. So these are all different types of charts. So this particular visual, I want a total sales over here. Now where is the amount? So here is the amount column. So if I click and drop it over here, this total amount is getting displayed. But this is having like including everything, like here the sales is there, receipt is there, everything is coming up over here. So this amount column total is getting displayed, but I just want only the sum amount. So how do I write that formula? So in Excel, you would be writing sum if formula. So wherever the sales is coming, sum the amount column. So how do I write that in Power BI? Again, I don't need to write any formula using keyboards. I can simply go to this table, click on quick new measure. So everything is like kind of a user interface. I will simply go to filtered value. Now here I will drag and drop it. So this is the sum of the amount. Yes, I want to sum the amount, but I want to have a sum if. So how do I do that? So under accounting ledger, I will simply drop it. And from this drop down, I will say sales. So wherever is the sales, this is a sum of this particular amount. Let us click OK. And new formula is being added. So here you can see amount was there and amount of sales is here. So instead of this 42.29 million, I will remove this and I will select this one, amount of sales is coming. So currently it is getting displayed in millions. I don't want that to be rounded off. So I can simply go to display units, none. So exact amount will get displayed. Decimal places I don't want. So this will be in proper format. So 43 lakhs is getting displayed. So now I can quickly format this. So let me have this category label. No, I don't want title. I will say total sales. Now I have to just type total sales, quickly format this in a proper color. So this is fine. So let us quickly format this into 20 total sales. This is done. So data labels, I can have a different labels. Let's start with blue color. So this is blue color. So we can separate it for purchase and sales. So I can decrease so that it looks proper. Now I can simply copy and paste it over here so that I don't have to do the formatting again. Now here I want to count the unique vouchers. So how many invoices are there? So there is a voucher number over here, which I want to count it wherever the sales are there. So let us first quickly see. like sales, if I do it and sales order is also there. So I want to count. So here you can see it is appearing twice. So if I simply count the number of rows, it will be incorrect. So how do I do that? So again, I will have to write any formula. So how do I do that? I will simply go to this one. I will say filtered value. So this time I will say voucher number. I will type in search bar. So this will be my voucher number. Now, instead of counting a voucher number, I will say count distinct. So wherever is the count is there, count distinct, that I'm saying. And now this will be count distinct, count if kind of stuff. So accounting ledger, wherever the sales is coming up. So let us click OK. And there will be one more formula which has been added. So we can quickly rename this also. Right click, renaming, number of invoices. So that's it. So now let us quickly select this particular visual and just replace this. Instead of invoices, here you can see number of invoices are there. Title got copied from here. We can go and quickly change this title, number of invoices. So this is done. So this here you can see we have done this two particular visual with simple mouse clicks. Now I want to get an average. So I can copy this, paste it over here. Now I want to divide this particular number by this one. Again, I don't need to write any formula. Quickly go to this quick new measure. Then from select calculations, what you want to do, it's a division. So go to division. Now numerator, we have already added this amount of sales divided by number of invoices. Simple thing. You don't have to write any formula. Let us click OK. So one more formula has been added. So let us quickly rename it. This will be average per invoice. So that's it. So now instead of 66, we will quickly replace this average per invoice. So this way here you can see that the amount has got displayed. So if you want to display our rupee sign also, you can select that average per invoice and quickly format this. So this will be formatting currency. From here, you will have to select our English India. So let me just scroll down a little down. So we'll have to find it. So it may take a little bit of time, but here you got it, like whatever dollar sign or something, if you want, you can do it. So this is like English India. So here you can see rupee symbol has come up. So same thing, you can do it for this as well. I'm not going to do it, but you have already seen that just to save our time. So this we have done it for just a kind of a visual. So now I want a month level details. So I can simply click on this particular visual. So this is there. I will drag our month and year. So I will simply drop it over here and this amount and sales under this values. So here quickly you can see that this visual has get displayed. But here you can see the months are not coming in proper sequence. So how do I do that? So I will have to sort this, going back to this data set, go to this particular column and select this particular month year, and I want to sort on this particular order wherever the dates are coming start of the month. So I will simply go to this column tool, sort by column, and I will say start of the month. Just you have to do that using mouse click, and here you can quickly refresh it. Let me first remove this and put it over here. Here now you can see April, May, it is coming in proper sequence. So I don't want this y-axis. I can simply remove this. I want data labels to be shown. This data labels is there. So still like here you can see the title is coming up. I don't want that title. I can remove that from here also. Title, I don't want it. I can remove it. Y-axis also they don't want. I can simply remove this stuff. So here you can see this quick visual. I am able to create it. Now the next visual which I wanted was like something kind of a table where the product group, sales amount, sales voucher, and quantity sold, everything is coming up, and this inside data bars are also coming up. So how do I do that? So I will simply create on this matrix visual. I will simply drag and drop the product names, which is like a in particulars. So particulars, I will just drop it. And the group, let me see what field I have used it over here. So this is a group field. I can search the field over here, group, and I will put it over here. at the top of this particular. So this particular was, again, I think it was incorrect. Particular correct. It's the same thing. And now I will want to filter it out this data set only for sales related one. So I will put this accounting ledgers on this visual and will simply select sales. So only the sales related data will get displayed. And I can simply then drag and drop my amount of sales under values, amount per invoice also, quantity also was one field. I can simply drag and drop it over here and my this entire data set getting displayed. So if I want to drill down, I can click on this double headed arrow and it gets drilled down. Now, how do I add that data bars and conditional formatting the way we can do it in an Excel? So again, you don't need to write any formulas. We have already done that. You simply go to this amount, click on this conditional formatting. Let us start with first font color. Now this can be in highest value. So here you can see values only I have selected. Amount of sales. This was the formula which we are saying. Lowest value, it will automatically identify. You don't need to change. I'm simply changing the colors. This highest value as it is, this as it is. Let us click OK. So immediately you can see highest value has been displayed over here. So if you want to sort in descending order, you can simply click on this amount of sales. This has been sorted in ascending or descending order. If I click one more time, it will be in ascending order. So the lowest one will get displayed at the top. So this kind of interactivity, you can't do it in Excel. So you here it is already inbuilt in Power BI. Here you can quickly create this kind of visual. Now here, let us say if I want to display a data bar. So I can simply go it over here. So let me first remove the decimal place. I don't want a decimal place. Now I will simply go to this conditional formatting and will say data bars. So again, I won't change anything over here as it is default option is fine with me, and let us click OK. So here you can see quickly the data bars are also getting displayed. So if I click on average per invoice, so this will also get sorted in descending order. So here you can see the average per invoice is something highest for this particular product, but the total amount is very low. So this total amount is highest, but average amount is very low. So this way here you can quickly perform this analysis. Now, if you want to have this analysis for purchase also, you can quickly do that also. Now I will simply copy and paste it over here. So now I can write the formula the way I have done it for sales. I can simply go to quick new measures, select filtered from value. This is the amount which I want. Accounting ledger I am dragging. Now here I want a purchase. So let us click OK. A new formula for SUMI formula got displayed. So I can replace this or rename this, or let it be amount per purchase as it is. I can simply drag and drop it over here. So here you can see our purchase related details got displayed. So I can have a different color for this as well. So for easy identification purpose, so it has got displayed. So I want to identify number of purchase invoices. I can simply copy and paste it over here. Let us now write one more formula quickly. New measure. This will be filtered value. This will be voucher number. Put it over here. Remove this. Accounting ledger. This will be purchase. Instead of count, I will say count distinct. So it will count one number at a time only. It won't count if the same number is appearing twice. So I can rename this number of purchase invoices. Whatever name you want to give it, you can give it, that's fine. So I will simply replace this. Here you can see, so there were like 50 invoices, and here for for purchase and for sales there are like this many. So I can simply copy this visual also. Let us adjust this. So this formatting you will have to do it a little bit, but this will be done using mouse click only, just by dragging the borders. Now instead of sales, I can drop purchase itself. If you want both of them, you can display that. If you want single one only, you can display that also. So let us quickly change the colors. So the data color for this one can be this. So let me hide this so that a little more data set is getting displayed. So here, just by looking at this data set, here you can see like the number of purchases in July month are significant, almost like highest in the year. However, if you see the sales has been dropping from July month. So you can ask the person like why the say purchase has been done so significantly in July month when you know that the sales has been decreasing, and in November, December, and January the sales is almost negligible. Same thing we can see in purchase, it is fine. But however, in the purchase has been highest in July, August, and September. So we can see like why the sales has been decreasing like this in after July month. So starting February and this month, there has been increase in sales, but the purchase has not been increased. So we should start keeping the stock. Are we selling the old stock in the February month, which has been purchased in the July month? So here, this kind of analysis, you can do it. So now if I simply click on this visual also, this particular product, all the data set only for that particular product is getting displayed. So how many invoices, how many purchases we have done, it's getting displayed. Average per invoice of purchase also you can add it. Just for saving time purpose, I'm not displaying that, but you can do that also. So now this purchase also you can do it like this kind of visual. So let me just decrease this. I can simply copy this particular visual also. You don't have to redo it again and again. So that way you can save time. Otherwise in Excel, you have to do the same step over and over again. I can simply, let me drag this. And now instead of sales, I can put the purchase related information also over here. So currently you can, here you can see we have the amount of sales. I can remove this. If I want both of them, I can have that visual also. So this way here you can see purchase related information is also coming up. Now I can have a data bar for this background color. So let us select a different color. So this can be a white color and let us click OK. So here you can see the purchase has been highest for this particular product. However, the sales has been very low. So why we are doing a less number of sales in this one? Here by quickly sorting also you can do it. So whatever number of fields or whatever kind of analysis you want to do it, you can perform very quickly using this Power BI. So you will have to do a little bit of resizing to so that it looks visually appealing or like visually very good the way I have done it over. So that way a little bit of formatting you would have to definitely do it. But otherwise you can see like this quick charts, interactive charts, you can quickly do it in Power BI. In Excel, it's not possible to do it this kind of interactivity. So this kind of filtering, this is not possible in Excel itself. So that's it like as of now from my side. Any questions or any things you want to ask me on this Power BI? Just because of time constraint, we are not going into a lot of complex details, but definitely you can do wonders with this Power BI thing. So just open for questions. Yeah.
Namrata, can you take up some questions?
Yes, I am looking at questions posted. So first question is, what is the cost of Power BI?
It's completely free. As I said at the start of this entire tool is free of cost provided by Microsoft as of now. Later in future, if something changes, that is in Microsoft hand. But as of now, it's completely free. Just Google it, download it, install it, start using it. No need to pay anything. You just need to understand how to use it. That's it. The cost will be as a part of your training. So if you want some kind of trainings, definitely we can take it that. But tool cost is zero. Training cost, definitely you will have to do it. You have to train yourself. You have to invest that amount.
Okay, fine. Okay. So they don't have freemium version. Entire version is free. Is what I
Yes.
understand.
Yes. So they, as of now, the tool is entirely free. There is no time limit. There is no feature limit. So all the features are available. Everything is available free of cost. There is another version which is called as a cloud version where you want to share it. Let us say if you're sharing with your client, so that person also need to have this software. It's just like an Excel file. If let us say if you're saying like creating an Excel file and another the person whom you are sharing with, that person doesn't have an Excel software, so obviously he won't be able to open that Excel file. Same with this particular tool. So whatever file or whatever visualization you are creating, this will be saved as this kind of a PBIX file. So if that another person to whom you are sharing, if he doesn't have that software installed, he won't be able to open it. But again, it is free of cost. He can download it and start opening it. But if you don't want to do that also, you can share it in a cloud version. There the additional cost is there. So that is $9 per month. So that way, anyways, as of now, you don't have to involve it. You can use this desktop software. You can share it as an attachment. Another person can look at this data set. So
Okay,
that,
fine.
yeah,
Thank you for a very detailed answer.
yeah.
Next question is related to somewhat related to the Excel. How to change million format to Indian format?
Okay. So that is like a custom formatting you will have to write in Excel, like this particular number. By default, if you see, the amount will be coming in UK format. Instead of that, if you want in lakhs, crores like this, the first thing is you will have to do it using control 1. I can't show that entire thing. That is little complicated. Here you will have to write it, or you can go from your regional settings, like go to control panel. I think somewhere in regional settings you can do it. So where is this regional setting region? If you go it, and not here, additional settings. So this here you can change it, I think somewhere. So here you can see this is like lakhs. So here you can change it. So by default, wherever your numbers are coming, it will be in Indian format. So currently in US format, you can change it directly from here. So you don't have to again manually do it every time in Excel. You do it like directly from here. But make sure that this will be like, remember, like it will be applicable to all the softwares what you are using. And if some software are incompatible, then it will throw an error. So this region is like for entirely for whatever numbers are going to be displayed. It will be across all the softwares. If you want something, you can just Google it for custom number formatting. You can change it from here. So any other question related to Power BI?
One question related to Power BI is pertaining to ODBC. So there are
Yeah.
three individuals who are facing problem in fetching data using function ODBC.
Yes. So right now I don't have a Tally installed in this particular laptop. So here you can see this is a O data feed, and you need to activate that O data feed for Tally also. So probably like Puneet Bhai can share like how do you activate that Tally related ODBC server. But from here, once you activate it, that URL related parts will come. You can just start using it. It will be just like simply kind of a database. And Power BI can connect to multiple, not only this kind of data source. It can connect almost to 99 different kind of data sources. It can connect to your JSON file, PDF file also it can extract, SQL Server, Microsoft. So all of these database it can extract it. You don't have to write any separate software for that. So all of these are already inbuilt. It just you need to activate that ODBC server. So probably Puneet bhai, you can just show that how to activate, and then it is simply just linking it, just like we can do it in an Excel. You can simply link to that server.
Okay, so that we will take live demonstration with the help of Puneet Bhai.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as long as Power BI questions are concerned, most of them are covered. But this
Okay.
one question is not pertaining only to Power BI, but it is a data analytics and visualization question. So the question
Yes.
is, can we consider as one of the tool for data analytics and visualization? So the person
Yes.
is just seeking your confirmation that
Yes,
okay,
yes. So Power
thank
BI
you,
is
Abhishek.
Power. Yeah, so Power BI is like more of a business intelligence tool you can use for data analysis, for audit purpose, or even for non-audit purpose. So if you want to visualize, if you want to create MIS reports, everything can be done, and there is no limit. Like in Excel, you have number of 10 lakh rows. Here you can upload up to 4 GB of data set in this Power BI desktop. So that is limitation for desktop. But if you have a SQL server where you can have a terabytes of data set, you can create a live connection to that, and it will fetch the data set whenever you interact with this. It won't load to this. So again, there is no limitations of number of rows or number of data set you can import in Power BI.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir,
I
for
think
your detailed explanation for all the queries.
sure. Thanks a lot. So over to you, Puneet Bhai. So probably you can just show that
Yeah,
ODBC how we can activate.
yeah. Okay. So ODBC activation is what we require it in along with Tally. We require a small file of Windows ODBC to be saved in the folder. Okay, I'll share that exact name. And once it is there, we can enable it from the Excel as well as maybe from Power BI also to get the data. But what my analysis or knowledge is that you get only the related masters information from the default version of the Tally. Okay, if we want to have the transactional information, what we want, what we saw it in both the different tools, then we need to work more on the tool itself, because in the tool we have written one small TDL as to which format, which columns we want what repo, what value to come in. Otherwise, it is not possible. Through tool only we have got that data or in both the Excel format we just shared it. Okay, so that is something that we have done it through using TDL and Tally's ODBC analysis also by opening up certain ports of ODBC through TDL. Okay, so we were discussing on extraction of business analysis that you showed Abhay very nicely. Data visualization enablement tool, that again was something which was related only to sales, which a normal pivot report can be of useful. So now the question is how to get those things. Okay, before we get on that, let us, I have, since the topic title contained hidden gems, we have discussed some of them. I will come back to certain basic features that we discussed during the 2 hours that we have. Okay, using F3 feature, and F4 is for ledger, when display account books ledger. So if you have filtered for the entire period, then just by clicking on F4 you can select the different ledger. So using F3 and F4 is something that not many people are aware of. F3 we already saw single ledger copy, multiple ledger copy. One of the users pointed at me that can be asked me that can be used for transactions also for copying from one company to another. I said yes, it can be used for F3 feature, can be used for copying the transaction also from one company to another company. The only caveat is that both the companies should have same masters. Okay, in case the name is not there or the ledger is not there, you might face some amount of disturbance or error. SQL query in the data, Tally data that we have already seen, how to use those SQL query. From where do I get the entire list of queries? You can just go to help.telesolutions and type SQL query. Okay, XML export and import of data, we have already discussed that this is one of the tools where you can take not only the masters, display list of accounts, it is the masters. But if you want to copy from one company to another, you can go to display daybook and then copy the entire daybook and select the period and then export it in XML and import it in another company also. So XML export import is something that we all should know how to use it for our effective purposes. Emailing of ledger statements of outstanding, we already discussed that how to go to that particular multiple account printing, and from there we can use this. Okay, one feature which I normally share with my users and which I like discussing is of using of shortcut key called Alt N. It is a magic button. Users can go to their Tally and then maybe open 2 or 3 different companies and then click on Alt N. There is a button called on the when we go to balance sheet and then click on button called Alt N auto column, you can select either the period or you can select the company. If you have selected the company, all the 3-4 companies will come in one line. Very useful when we are doing this data consolidation. Now since March has just gone by and we are going to do finalization, at that point of time users should use these features of Alt N. It is wonderful feature. And last but not the least, using of help module of Tally. Just go to help.tellysolutions.com, type any of your queries. Most of it they are answered. Now that help is also used by Tally support people who are answering to you on the calls. Okay, so from there also you can get it, but using help is one of the useful features which few of my friends are using it quite extensively, and they are very happy about it. Okay, I have already discussed on auto bank reconciliation. We have taken in detail, in-depth learnings of how auto bank reconciliation can help. Okay, now the last. Where do I get these TDLs? These TDLs, as a matter of time, we have developed it at AIMTech Business Solution, but they are not unique to AIMTech Business Solutions. You can definitely go to help, sorry, to your control center, and on so next to your control center button called Tally Shop, and there you can see some of these TDLs. By you can download it and you can use it for yourself. They provide you with the entire documentation also. The only challenge is that the trial version comes with a 2-day working. Okay, 2 or 3 day working. You can try that module. For the any of the module, you just have to go on this Tally Shop and check it out. After 2 days, you may have to, or you will have to pay certain amount, 270 rupees for single user, and maybe some 630 or 720 rupees for multi user. So that is the base amount that the Tally Shop is being charged, but that does not come along with any kind of support or any kind of working. If the thing is required, you can ask any of your Tally vendors, that those of which are 3-star or 5-star. You can ask them to design it. Of course, you will have this YouTube video to have it all, or you can come back to us. Okay, so in case you want to have this visualization enablement tool, that is that first tool that I discussed, that was the Excel sales information. Okay, we are right now providing it to complementary to all the users. You just have to WhatsApp on this number 771-504-7111 and type Excel pivot, and along with your name, email address, our team shall send you the mail with one with the file for using it to all the three months. Okay, friends, this is not a visualization tool but a visualization enablement tool. Okay, so you can get the entire information in a pivot format. What you do after you get the information is for what you to decide. We might give you 1 or 2 dashboard reports along with that, but I would leave it to your imagination that with those 55 or 70 columns, sorry, 55 or 60 columns, what enablement or what visualization would you do? More so, we also love to get the feedback from the users that this is the kind of visualization we have provided. For those users who would revert back with the best of the visualization, we shall enable their serial number free of cost after the 3 months. Okay, so this is how you can get the other details. For any other query, you may contact me. Of course, you may contact the BCS help desk as well, in case I have missed out on certain important aspects which are which the user wants to discuss. Okay, so with these words, Minal bhai, over to you.
Thank you, Puneet bhai. Before we move forward, Puneet bhai, can we get a 2 or 3 minute explanation on the recent change in
Yeah.
the Tally license policy? A very brief detail, about the what is the change in the recent change in the Tally license policy?
Yeah, I would discuss that. So, friends, Tally was never always said that their license is either for a single user or a multi-user. By meaning that they, since it came since 1980s, and their policy was always the standard that in a local area network you can use it in n number of machines. Okay, now the with COVID-19 and before COVID-19, this was the trend going on for last 3 years, that people were using it on the cloud as well. While Tally did not said no to it, the users started using it in a different way. So they started playing with that policy of Tally says, since Tally is allowed for n number of users, so one license could be there for one server, and that server was then given to different parties without the licenses. Okay, only for the storage data or only for using the Tally's exe. So by that, Tally was losing big time on the licensing work, and it was not able to work more on their functionalities. With the recent change, what Ninal is discussing, from 1st of July, they have clearly told that from 1st of July, the local rural area network, that is, if those are within one LAN, those would be continued to remain within for the free, no problem. Whatever the licensing have been promised, that will continue. But those users which are using on cloud, maybe through RDP environment, VPN environment, or using a Tally third party server, they will have to purchase a Tally virtual user license, that they call it in short TVU. And for that they are going to charge uh, after 1st of April, maybe around 2,700 rupees per user per year. Now that is what they are going to charge. Right now they have not charged it. 31st July was the last date for enablement of the users, that how many free users that they wanted. For to make the matter simple, it is not applicable for any virtual user if they are having less than 10 users. So a CA having less than 10 users who are using virtually would not have any kind of cost implication, because they would be having a multi-user. For a single user, it is one user which is given free. That is just a change in licensing. There is no change in the enablement or functioning. You have to have your own cloud for enabling this TVU. So that is what, just one caveat which I wanted to discuss. Otherwise, this TVU is something that Tally has recently brought in, and yeah, beyond the 10 users free. For multi-user, one will have to pay to the Tally company some 2,700 rupees.
Thank you, Puneet bhai, so much for the detailed explanation.
Yes.
I'm sure your presentation and Abhay bhai's presentation will help a lot to the participants. I would now like to invite CA Kinjal Shah to propose a formal vote of thanks to both the speakers. Kinjal bhai.
Uh-huh. Yes, thanks, Mrinal. It was really a wonderful session. Lot of inputs from both the speakers, Puneet and Abhay bhai. And I would say that this session was on hidden gems of Tally, but I think we also had two more hidden gems, which was Puneet and Abhay, and they has taken us through a lot of other hidden gems of Tally. I am sure members would have benefited a lot from the kind of inputs that has been shared by both the speakers. And I, on behalf of Bombay Chartered Accountant Society and the Technology Initiative Committee, propose a well-deserved vote of thanks to both the learned speaker. And I am once again thankful to them for sparing their valuable time. Thanks, Puneet, and thanks, Abhay.
Pleasure. It's been a real pleasure to discuss it with the participants of Bombay Chartered Account Society. And right at the start, I mentioned both the efforts of the Technology Initiative Committee members, along with you, Nitin Bhai, and everyone, which are working hard for the users to understand what are the functionalities which are available in the technology domain. Let's take it forward and understand more from the other users. And I would invite all the technology initiative lovers to come and join BCAS in large numbers, because here we just not discuss what is technology, we discuss why and how.
Yes, thanks, Puneet.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
Mrinal,
Thank you
concluding
everyone for
words from
joining.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So
Thanks a
for the
lot, guys.
participants, the recording of this whole session would be available on YouTube on BCS Global channel. So everyone can go back, and if you have missed out any point or you want to revisit any description, you can definitely go back to BCS Global YouTube channel and you can view this thing. Thank you everyone for joining today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pleasure.